morning, students. I am your history civics teacher. I am Mrs. P. Rodney. I welcome you all on online classes of Jamna Christian Junior High School. Now, students, first of all, you cut down chapter number 4 from your book, and today we will discuss chapter number 5, and that is on page number 48, and the chapter name is Decline of the Mughal Empire. So, today a period of transition I will discuss. A transition from the medieval to the modern period began with the decline of the Mughal Empire. So, first topic is a period of transition. This is followed by the English East India Company. Territorial conquest on the beginning of the political dominations of India in the middle of the 18th century. The modern period in India is generally regarded as having begun in mid-18th century. It is beginning on 18th century. During the first half of the 18th century, the great Mughal Empire decayed and disintegrated. The Mughal emperor lost their power and glory, and their vast empire finally shrunk to a few square round miles. Delhi. The unity and the stability of the Mughal Empire had already been shaken during Aurangzeb's long reign of about 50 years. The death of Aurangzeb, the last of the Mughals, was followed by a war of succession among his three sons. Bahadur Shah even naturally ascended the throne in 707 at the age of 65. He became the first in a line of emperor referred to as the later Mughals. Now, I will tell you about the later Mughals from 1707 to 1857. First one is Bahadur Shah Zafar. It is on 7 to 12. Second is Jahangir Shah. Third, Farooq Siyar. Fourth, Muhammad Shah. Fifth, Ahmad Shah. Sixth, Alamgir II. 7. Shah Alam II. 8. Akbar II. 9. Bahadur Shah Zafar. Students, learn these later Mughals' name and their sons. Now, the third point is the reasons for the decline of the Mughal Empire. So, first reason is politics in the Mughal court. Several factors were responsible for the disintegration and even naturally collapse of the once powerful and mighty Mughal Empire. There are 4 groups of nobles in the Mughal court. First is Iranis, Turanis, Afghans and Hindustanis. The Iranis hailed from Persia, the Turanis from Transylvania, and Afghans came from the mountainous border region across the river Indus. The Mughal court was a house sharply divided from within. This result is a constant struggle for power among these groups. Their mutual jealousies and rivalries caused great harm to the Mughal administration and undermined the prestige and authority of the Mughal emperor. Second is Jagirdari crisis. In addition to the competition for political power and influence, there was a scramble for the best and most profitable Jagirs among rival nobles. The Mughal officers were given Jagirs as a payment for their service towards the end of the 17th century. There was very few Jagirs left to satisfy the demands of the newly required officers. Crown lands were converted to Jagir lands. and given to the nobles. This led to a loss of revenue for the royal treasury and the further decline of the power of the emperor. Third decline reason for the decline of the Mughal Empire is weak military organization and administration. To maintain absolute power and control of the Mughal army, Akbar had recognized it on the basis of Mansabdari system. This system, which worked well under Akbar, began to break down towards the end of the 17th century. Under this system, Mansabdari had maintained a fixed number of troops. They were given jagirs as the payment for the doing so. Later, an increase in the number of Mansabdar and a shortage of jagir led to corruption and efficiency in the system. The Mansabdar did not maintain the quota of troops and adopted corrupt method. This led to decline of the military strength of the Mughal Empire. The Mughal army also failed to keep pace with the time. The Mughal rulers did not have a navy and made no effort to establish one. Their equipment and techniques of war were absolute and ineffective. Nothing was done to reform, modernize and strengthen the army. Now the next point is War of Succession. War of Succession. The death of the Mughal ruler was generally followed by wars of succession among rival claimants to the throne. These civil wars proved very costly and destructive. They drained the resources of the empire, caused frequent political upheavals and made the empire unstable and weak. Now the next point is Aurangzeb's policies. Aurangzeb was not very successful as an emperor. He failed to realize that the progress and stability of such a vast depended on a policy of religious tolerance and the support and unity of the people. His policy, religious intolerance, shook the foundation of the empire and resulted in the following. The costly, long-drawn and ruinous Deccan campaign, numerous war with Sikhs, the Marathas, the Jats and the Rajputs, loss of support of loyal Rajput who had earlier contributed greatly to the stability of the Mughal Empire but now become bitter foes. Now the next point is economic bankruptcy. A major cause of the disintegration of the Mughal Empire was its economic bankruptcy. The enormous sums of money spent by Shah Jahan on magnificent monuments like the Taj Mahal had drained the royal treasury. Now, Aurangzeb's Deccan campaign was a financial disaster that ruined the empire and made its collapse. Next point is foreign inventions. The inventions of Nadir Shah, the ruler of Persia, and Ahmad Shah Abdali, the ruler of Afghanistan, shattered the power and prestige of the Mughals. Nadir Shah looted and plundered Delhi and carried away valuable treasures including the priceless Kohinoor diamond and the peacock throne. Ahmad Shah Abdali plundered northern India. Next point is the successors. Aurangzeb ruled over a vast empire which he controlled with an iron hand. His successors were pleasure-loving, weak and insufficient. They were puppets in the hands of powerful, ambitious nobles who controlled the administration. The provincial governor took advantage of the weak government of the center and set up independent kingdoms in the Mughal provinces. This led to the breakup and collapse of the empire. All the hopes of the rival of the Mughal Empire ended with the British decided to challenge the authority of the Mughals. They took full advantage of its weakness and began to pursue their planning of establishing control over India. Bahadur Shah Jafar, the last of the Mughals, assumed leadership of the rebels in the revolt of 1857 against the British. He was defeated and exiled to Rangoon, where he died. The Mughal Empire came to an end. The Mughal Empire had lasted for over 3 years. It declined in the first half of the 18th century, led to intensive rivalry among various ambitious powers. The struggle ended with the victory of the British, who would rule India for nearly 200 years. This marked the beginning of the modern period of the history. Did you know the Kohinoor diamond is one of the largest and the most valuable diamond in the world? The word Kohinoor means mountain of light. Earlier, the Kohinoor diamond belonged to different rulers of India. During Shah Jahan reign, it was mounted on the Peacock throne, the Mughal throne of India. Later, it was taken by Nadir Shah to Persia in 1739. It was brought back to Punjab in 1830 when the deposed ruler of Afghanistan, Shah Shuja Durrani, gave away the diamond to Ranjit Singh, the founder of the Sikh. In return, Ranjit Singh helped him get back the Afghan throne. The British acquired the Kohinoor diamond after the conquered Punjab in 1849. Today it belongs to the British royal family and is parts of the crown jewels. Now I will tell you some values and skills. We are the citizen of a multi-faith society and should accept what is good in all religions. We must respect people of different religions in the way different culture in harmony. This helps in the progress and development of the country. Now students, this chapters end here. Write down important words in your copy. It is on page number 52 and match the column. It is on page number 53. Thank you. Have a nice day.